How's it going, everybody? It's your boy Puppy Wolf, and today we're going to be talking about the newest episode of Boruto, and it is titled "How You Use It." And this is episode 186, and off the bat, fire episode, man, fire episode. 10 out of 10. It was amazing. Everything felt fun. Everything felt fluid. Everything just seemed like it was going in the right direction. We start off with the opening, so already off the bat, whenever an anime starts off with the opening, you're kind of thinking, you know what? This is probably gonna be fire. Because they're probably gonna dedicate everything else to the episode. Everything's gonna be to the episode. And Lord was it. So we get dedicated to the fight right off the bat. So we see this is just gonna be an action-packed episode. And we couldn't have prayed for a better episode. So we first see how Team 7 is gonna lure Ao into where they want him to be at, and it goes by so fast. We see Mitsuki going toe to toe with Ao. We see Sarada. We see Konhamaru, and it's just so fluid. Like, this man is just beating these people. Like, the whole point when I see this happening, I'm thinking, for a man who says he's not a shinobi anymore, he fights just like a shinobi. Like, when he runs into all of them, he goes, "Y'all call that hiding?" Like he really does play on the fact that, oh guys, I'm not a shinobi anymore. But at the same time too, he really shows us, no, he still fights like one. Despite all the tools he has, despite all the augmentations and mods to his body, he still very much fights like one. And we keep seeing him go through everybody, and then eventually they lure him in. He's, even when he's thinking to himself, thinking like, yo, they lured me into this spot. They're all shooting jutsu at me. And by the way, everybody's putting everything into this. Seeing like Mitsuki's lightning snake, and seeing Sarada's fireball jutsu, and seeing even Konohamaru's fireball jutsu. Like, the degree in which they're doing this, they're mowing down trees with their jutsus alone. I thought that was hella dope. And to see Ao the whole time absorbing them all and thinking, all right, they're all pushing me to a corner. Why? Where's Naruto? Where's Naruto's kid at? Behind me? Like, he's reading the battle like he's a shinobi still. So that's why the whole point, I'm like, is he even, like, he keeps referring to himself as a tool, but at the same time too, everything he's doing is shinobi like. Everything he's doing is how a shinobi fights. So Boruto comes out of nowhere. Oh, not nowhere, above, right when he calls it. Boruto hits him and, tries to fight him. He absorbs the jutsu on him, and then he tries to hit him with the sword, only for Ao to kind of absorb it and grab the sword. And then that's when the real plan takes in, is that Mitsuki wraps his hands around Ao, so that way he just plainly abuses all his chakra. And one cool thing to point out here, I thought this was so funny, is that when Ao grabs the sword, it turns red. And they don't explain why it turns red. My only assumption is, like, that's a Star Wars reference, and because Boruto's chakra is just blue, I guess, Ao's chakra is red, which doesn't make any sense, but hey, I dug the reference, man. I thought it was so cool that he had a red and black looking lightsaber. I was like, oh, that's so sick. If only Boruto could have it like that. So we keep getting up further in the episode, where it turns out that that whole thing was a red herring. The only reason why they wanted Ao to get the lightsaber, I'm gonna call it that now, is that way it can drain his chakra, and the group can just land an attack on him. So they're able to land an attack with Boruto hitting him with the Rasengan, breaking the scientific ninja tool. And right when they go to capitalize on him, he brings out these, what's the word for calling them, like flying discs of like jutsu bombs or ninja tool bombs or something. They're basically like flying little saucers that are like throwing bombs, throwing lightning jutsu. And Konohamaru, I know everyone makes the joke it's Water Hamaru, but he did take a big L this episode. At first I was like, okay, so he's putting in work, but he gets hit because he notices, the saucer, like, something's off. Let me get Boruto out of there. And I know a lot of people like to hate on him, but I'm gonna give him one big W, is like, he is truly a trained shinobi, because he knows how to read somebody's facial expressions, or even just the air around people. Like, he was able to read that situation right when it was going to happen. Like, he really just was able to predict something's happening. Let me just keep it from happening. And then he jumps in front of Boruto, getting a full-fledged blast on him. And these are no joke. These probably could take out like a good amount of shinobi, like nothing. And again, Al makes the distinction of like, I didn't want to use these. And Boruto finishes his sentence because they're cheap tools and they're not shinobi like, right? That's why I don't want to use them. And he's like, yeah, I'm just a tool. But he's like, but you keep holding on to the morals of what a shinobi is. You keep holding on to what's a good word for it? The philosophy of being a shinobi. He keeps holding on to it, and no matter how like much he keeps saying he's a tool, he keeps doing things that a person who is a tool would rather do than a shinobi would. You know what I'm saying? Like it just makes it seem like he wants to eat his cake. He wants to have his cake and eat it too. He wants to be able to use these weapons and still, claim that he's not a shinobi, while holding some shinobi elements to himself. But then Boruto, like, when they're fighting, I just want to say this: the choreography for this fight was beautiful. Seeing Naruto just jump around, tagging all these saucers with paper bombs was insane. And seeing him take out the last two with just like a Sasuke style jutsu was awesome. It just goes to show like the whole purpose of this fight isn't just Al versus Boruto. It's showing how to use your skills against somebody who has like the cheat codes. You know what I'm saying? How do you win when the person picks what's a good fighting game? Shao Kahn in Mortal Kombat. How do you beat him with someone like who's supposedly like a weak character in Mortal Kombat? Like, how do you beat him with someone like, I don't know. I'm just gonna throw around the character. You guys get mad. I'm sorry. Sonya Blade. How do you beat Shao Kahn with Sonya Blade? No, Sonya's kind of broken. Jax. How do you beat him with Jax? Like, it's just one of those things where like, how do you do it? Or when he picks Goro, how do you beat Goro with a weak character? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you go about that without getting without resorting to cheat codes? And Boruto kind of shows like it's with training, it's with skill, and it's with his own like way of fighting. And they keep continuing this whole argument of like, no one could be strong like Naruto, no one can be like your dad, no one can be like this godly, like half alien freaking being who is just ultimately powerful. No one can be godlike. Sometimes you have to resort to using cheat codes. And Boruto's like, it just depends how you use it. Like, he's like, I'm not saying don't spam the same attack. I'm saying you pick your moments when to use it. Use these tools like ninja tools. Don't be a tool yourself. Like, it's just one of those like philosophy. It's the battle of ideals, like the shinobi ideal versus the modern age. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it kind of all ties back to the beginning of the series when like it's him versus Kawaki, and Kawaki goes that the age of shinobi is over. And it kind of seems like that's where they're going with it, is like modernization with these modern weapons and, making these new things. This kind of fighting, or this prior way of fighting, is just outdated. Now you have to use weapons and you have to be more military tactical instead of just being coordinated in combat. But obviously Boruto succeeds in showing him the fruits of training, because he beats him. Boruto's able to beat him in I would even say a fair one-on-one fight, but it was like an uphill battle for Boruto. He had like I said, he had to do everything in his pocket to win, but it was so good. The fluid moments of him using his clones to boost himself up in the fight, the fluid moments of him hitting the second Rasengan, like, it is just so good to see something that isn't recycled animation, or something that isn't just, like, oh, like he hits him. It's a fast fight. Like, this fight feels like a decent fight. Like, it feels fun. And it's kind of cool that at the end, when when Al's like, you should kill me, like, I'm a tool, I'm gonna kill you eventually, like, what are you gonna do? And he gets the same screwdriver that was put to his throat, and leaves it right there, and is like, look, right there, like, fix yourself. And then he reminds him, like, you're not a fucking tool, man, you're a living human being. Why can't you use those ninja tools on you to, like, be a ninja still? Like, why can't you, like, Like, your power isn't gone. You can still walk, you can still live, you could still exist, but you're choosing to, like, literally abandon everything like you hold dear and you hold in contempt, just because you wanna be able to, like, justify using these hacks, using these cheat codes, when you could be using them in the smartest way. And it does definitely hit to home a little. It feels it's a little talk no jutsu-y. And the moment when the sun hits him and then he like looks at him and is like, damn, like this guy actually really does make this kid actually does make a good point. And then something I called during like the couple episodes back happens, man. I straight out said this was gonna happen, man. Kashin Koji shows up and is like the final boss. He's the he's the M Bison. He's right there waiting to like jump in the fight at the end. And it definitely shows that, because right when they beat him, they're walking away and everyone's like, yeah, we did it, guys. Boom, Kashin Koji's like steam toad jutsu. Interesting that he's using frogs or toads. Huh. Just saying. But yeah, he does steam toad jutsu, and the episode ends with Boruto looking at him with like this fear. And I really think, man, I think he's gonna wreck him. I think he's gonna like utterly defeat them, because remember, everybody's exhausted from this fight. Everybody's like, the whole point was to like push him towards Boruto. It was a whole team effort and everyone's exhausted, and to see this man just pop out of nowhere and just be like, well, I'm gonna fight you guys now. So it's something I called earlier. I said Kashin Koji is gonna have to fight them, because he was watching Ao and he was making sure that Ao was gonna do what he was gonna do. Now, do I think he's gonna kill them in the next episode? I think he's just gonna fight them off, take Ao and kill Ao. That's what I truly think is gonna happen. I think he's gonna abandon his mission of searching for the vessel, only because he's like, well, Ao failed, so I had to kill him, then I left, and then they're gonna be questioning him like, why didn't you get the vessel? I don't know what else is gonna happen. All I know is that this episode was straight out 10 out of 10. I loved it. It was perfect. It was, so perfect is a hard word to say, but for me, it was perfect. I think I was very satisfied this episode. From the fighting, from the talk no jutsu, from Boruto's way of winning the fight. Like, everything felt good and everything felt satisfactory. I wasn't left like thinking, oh, I wish they did that, or oh, that would have been cool if they did that. I didn't leave this episode thinking anything like that. And with that cliffhanger at the end, and it makes you want more, that was just the perfect cherry on top. This whole episode, straight up 10 out of 10. I enjoyed it. This is your boy Poppy Wolf saying, I cannot wait to see where this next episode goes. I'm still waiting on Kawaki, and probably after the Kashin Koji fight, maybe like 2 more episodes, then we'll probably see Kawaki. I hope we see him soon, because I'm like hyped to see him. I want to see how they improve on the animation fight between him and the Team 7. But yeah, guys, this is going to be it for the videos. Your boy Poppy Wolf saying peace out, and remember, 1,000 subscribers. Late. Y'all have a good one.